Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another review. This is another paid request. This time for Bobby. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, out of the blueness, whatever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Down below. Now this is for a Western called Broken Arrow. Now it has nothing to do with the John Woo film Broken Arrow in the 90s. Like I said, this is a film from 1950 starring James Stewart, Jimmy Stewart, from It's a Wonderful Life and various other movies, Rear Window. And the reason that makes this film noteworthy is it was one of the early Westerns to portray the Native Americans in a positive light. Because a lot of times they were very much the savages and bloodthirsty and all that jazz. But this is loosely based on a true story. Of course, they dramatize a lot of stuff about it, but Jimmy Stewart in 1870, he's in Arizona, he's riding his horse, he finds his Apache boy, and he decides to help him. And the boy's confused, but ultimately, oh wow, this white man helped me. And so, our lead, Jimmy, I forget the character's name, but Jimmy Stewart's like, oh, well, the boy, he told me about how, his mom would be crying for him because she misses him, and some Apache men came, and they had a sense of fair play, so, maybe they're not as savage as I've been taught. And then pretty much he starts to want to make peace with these Apaches. And of course, a lot of the white guys in town don't want to hear it. Oh, they started the war. And Jimmy Stewart's like, no, some snooty lieutenant started all this, and you know that. Well, those are just rumors. And Jimmy Stewart starts to learn the Apache language. He goes to see the Apaches led by Cochise. Now, yes, a lot of the Native Americans are played by white people. It's 1950. I think there's one guy who's a Native American. I think it's the guy who played Geronimo. But pretty much everybody else is a white guy. And it's like, okay, the story has merit. But I mean, what can you do? It's 1950. In retrospect, yes, it should have just been Native American people playing it. It's one thing if it's like Tropic Thunder and it's Robert Downey Jr. for a purpose wearing black face, because that's the whole point. The actor is too far gone. He's too committed to what's the phrase of certain piece of acting where you take it too seriously. Method acting. I mean, that's part of the joke. That's what makes it funnier. This is like, but it is what it is. But the actors still are pretty decent at their job. I mean, Jimmy Stewart is a good actor. My favorite of his is still Rear Window, which is one of my favorite Alfred Hitchcock films. I love Rear Window. I'm trying to think. That's definitely still one of my favorites. I liked him in It's a Wonderful Life. And he does a good job here. You buy him being the guy that wants to make peace between the white and the Native American. And this is a film that, if you go into it for action, you're not going to find a lot of action. There's a little bit at the beginning where Native Americans and white guys fight, and Jimmy Stewart's tied to a tree, watching it all. There's a point kind of in the middle where they're trying to make peace, and Geronimo and these other Native Americans tried to attack a wagon, but then Cochise and other Native Americans helped the wagon as part of the peace treaty. There's a little bit of an ambush at the end, but it's nothing that is going to blow your socks off. But granted, it's 1950s. I think it's going to be a Michael Bay film or John Woo film or the like. But I'm just saying, even compared to like what was the Western I saw with John Wayne? I really enjoyed it. It was Rio Bravo. I think it was Rio Bravo. That action felt like it had a bit more spark compared to this. So again, the action, it's if you're going to for that, like the whole finale, I thought, man, this is the finale. It doesn't feel like a big finale for the film. Like the action scenes seem on par with like a TV episode. Just being honest, like a TV episode. But at least the actors do their jobs well. At least the meaning behind the film is valid about tolerance and peace. At least there's some good lines of dialogue. Like a couple lines I wrote down so I wouldn't forget. One is, "A fool sees only today, but a leader will see tomorrow." I did enjoy that line. Or the way how Cochise and Jimmy Stewart talked, and it's like, you know what, maybe one day you'll kill me or I'll kill you. But at least we won't be spitting on each other. I like that line. And Jimmy Stewart's committed to the role. He's not. There's not a lot of times I've seen him sleepwalk through a role. Like even here when, he wants to get the mail working again, so he makes a deal. Let these guys go to get the mail. It's a sign of peace. They agree. And someone makes a bet. Oh, I'll bet you $300 these five guys won't make it back. Jimmy Stewart wins. But then the white guys are saying some stupid shit and call him a renegade and gives him the money. And Jimmy Stewart just takes the money and just throws it at the mirror and says something like, "Hey, treats are on me." He just throws the money right at the fucking bar's glass. The little mirror. There's a point he meets an Apache woman. He falls in love with her. I forget her name. Sashimi? No, I want to say sashimi, but it's not that. Sansari? So sorry? That's not it. Sansari, but I must say, so sorry. So sorry, I can't remember the name. But then something bad happens at the end, and I guess I thought it was going to lead to something more, but it doesn't, and I guess that's really the point of it. Like I said, it's a movie that, filmmaking wise, there's a couple okay shots. Like there's a bit where when Jimmy Stewart's tied up, and after the battle, he's tied up, he's looking at a couple men hung, and one is like hung upside down, one's hung by his neck. And the way that composition is, with a little bit of the color, because it's 1950, but it is in color, at least the version I saw. Just the way that's done, that was a bit artistic. But there's not a whole lot. I mean, there's another bit where the Native Americans are signaling through. I'm not sure if they have glass or. They have something to reflect light. Like you have this wide shot of the open land and this big rock and someone's on it, and from that distance he's like this big, and you see reflecting even from that distance. Like, I didn't mind that shot, but it's like there's not a whole lot of shots that will make you take your breath away. It's not awe-inspiring Western shots showing the beauty of the countryside. It's not really that. It's not really. The score is serviceable for what it is. Like, it would not be on my favorite Westerns. I'm not a big Western guy, but there are Westerns I enjoy. Just want to see if one of them is here. But, I'm trying to see if that's here. But I do like, for example, I enjoy For a Few Dollars More. Fits for $4, Good, the Bad, the Ugly. I do enjoy Young Guns, that's my personal favorite. Try to see if it's here, or it might be over there. High Plains Drifter. Trying to find that. I think that's over there. But yeah, High Plains Drifter I enjoy. Rio Bravo I enjoyed. I don't know what the list would be. I probably did a list and I forgot. But it did. I know Young Guns and the like would be on there. But yes, it is. Usually when I think of westerns, I go for more like a sci-fi western, like Outland with Sean Connery, which is high noon but it's outer space. Just giving the sci-fi angle that I love, but also the western motif of like Copland. It's a Sylvester Stallone cop movie, but there's a western motif, like the whole finale. Like the whole finale feels like a western, but in a modern setting and modern polish. So that's what I mean. I appreciate the sensibilities, but I think it's just the type of location and setting that it's not always gun ho for me. But like I said 4 times now, there are westerns I do like, and this one I don't think it's a bad film. Like I said, if you like Jimmy Stewart, if you want to see a change of pace of a western that shows the Native Americans on, like the guy who played Cochise, he's white, but he wasn't bad. I thought he did a good job. I think he actually got an Academy Award nomination for this. The guy who played Cochise, I believe. He didn't win, but he got a nomination. I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't know if you need to be nominated, but oh my god, a white guy playing Native American? I never thought that could happen. These were very different in 1950. What can I say? I didn't mind this guy who played the Christian general. He's a general. He's not racist against Native Americans. He believes in the Bible. The lady who played the Apache woman, who Jimmy Stewart marries. Let's say the acting's not bad. The story has a good, valid ideal to it. It's just like the action scenes are gonna leave you wanting. Like I said, they kind of come off like a TV movie. The ending felt almost anticlimactic. Let me spoil the ending. Bear with me. 3, 2, 1, spoil. Big spoilers. He marries the Apache woman. There's tolerance and treaty being talked about. So after these renegade Native Americans are stopped from attacking the wagon by Cochise helping the white guys, Cochise and his men, Jimmy Stewart, Cochise, and Jimmy Stewart's wife are supposed to talk to this other white guy, this younger teen kid. But then him and others got them into an ambush. A little battle happens where Jimmy Stewart gets hit, which it looked like he flew back like he got shot twice, but then it looked like he had, because of the time, no wounds. Seemed like he was alright for a guy that may have been shot twice. I don't even know. He fell back like he did, but then the wife gets killed. But Cochise, he runs around, he arrows a couple people, he throws a knife at someone, and that's pretty much it. Jimmy Stewart is sad, he wants war. Cochise says no one's going to break the peace treaty, not even you. Just like when I had to honor the people who died that I loved, you don't have to do the same. They walk over. Some of the other whites says, hey, we're sorry what happened, Jimmy. We got the rest of the people who worked on it and helped do that. We took care of it, punished them. Jimmy Stewart's like, yeah, whatever. Then he rides off on this horse, and there's a narration of, I didn't buy his bullshit, but I do now. And then that's pretty much it. I'm like, I don't know, it just felt a bit anticlimactic. It felt like, I don't know if there's some massive ceremony. I mean, it's all being dramatized anyway, like some kind of massive ceremony. Like, maybe have a scene where the Native American Apache and the white townsfolk, they get together and they're kind of easily shaking their hands, and then Jimmy Stewart, I don't know, maybe he's looking afar, that maybe he goes to like his wife's grave, says some words, have a nice beauty shot of the landscape, he gets on his horse and he rides away, and then you can have the narration. Like maybe that kind of stuff I think would give a bit more impact. Maybe be more typical, but I don't know, just something about it felt a bit anticlimactic. It's like, that's the end? It felt like the end to a low budget movie. I don't know what it is. The movie felt low budget. I know this sounds stupid. It just felt low budget. I don't know how else to put it. And I think that compared to other westerns, again, like Rio Bravo and other stuff, it just didn't feel as they had a lot of money to play with. And like you look at the poster seems like, oh, it's them and battling all these people. No, that's not the case at all. So the poster seems like it'd be much more action than it is. I don't know who the director is, so I just I forgot to look it up, honestly. So that's my fault. But as it is, Broken Arrow. I mean, I'll stick with the John Woo film, which is completely different from this, but I mean, it was worth a watch at least. See something a little bit different. Take that for what you will. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later.